Hi, you guys. It's been a while since I have spoken with you guys and giving you guys my wisdom and my knowledge. And so I basically just wanted to come back to you guys for a while. And so the topic I'm going to be talking about today is enablers, and basically people who enable people's behavior that's not good for them. And a lot of times those enablers could be a mother, a father, sister, it could be family members, it could be friends, it could be employee, co-worker, it could be anybody, it could be your husband, wife, kids, it could be anybody to enable that behavior that's not good for you, that's hurting you and other people around you, and hurting the enabler, and that person is trying to figure out why am I, saying this is too much, I'm frustrated, he's hurting, this person disrespect me, but you gotta take accountability when that person is hurting you. And so, because you're allowing that person to hurt you when you're choosing to enable that behavior and support it. So today, we're going to be talking about enablers and what that is and what enabling is and how people do that. And then we're going to talk about how that affects and hurts that person that you're enabling. So enabling is when you sit there and you excuse somebody's behavior. Let's say somebody says something, or they insult somebody, or they just are completely out of line, or their lifestyle. Let's say, for example, they're alcoholic, or they're on drugs, or they're just living a life that's not healthy, that's not good for them. And you choose to support that and encourage that behavior by having their back and being there for them. Excuse me. Being there for them. So you excuse that behavior. Or that person's alcohol, so you come to all these excuses and stuff as to why that person's doing that, why you sit there, you're supporting them. Like when you give that person money and stuff, that's kind of the second thing about is always being there. You're enabling them. Go ahead, they're gonna do that money. They're gonna spend it on that habit or whatever the lifestyle they're all living. And a person chooses a little lifestyle where they want to be intimate with someone that they're not married to, and then on top of that, they knew going into a situation that person already had children, and then they decided to be into with that person. They had to deal with that choice. They knew before they get into with that person, so they have to be accountable. They can't be accountable when we get that enabling behavior. So enablers is like excuse that person's behavior. Always come with excuses, and then you expect, and then you teach the siblings. Usually kind of like a parent there, but yeah, because that person might be the baby, but that person might be the oldest. Well, yeah, that was, but just kind of come a break or come up with some type of reason why that person you shouldn't be mad at that person. I think that's why people get so upset and infuriated. It's because you're being told not to be upset with somebody when you know that you have a right to be upset with that person, and you're not wrong for being upset with that person. And so it becomes infuriating to that person. Another way is always being there, bailing them out all the time, always bailing them out, always giving them money. Oh my, I need money for this. They tell you for that, but you really know what it is. Or you allow that person to come back home, live with you, but you don't realize, okay, this person is on drugs or alcohol. They will steal from you. They will sell things to get that money to be able to support their habit. So when you're giving them money, always being there for you're supporting their habit. So how do you expect them to stop doing that, living that lifestyle when you're doing things to help their habit? Another way of supporting their habit is like teaching them the correct way to keep themselves safe and not be hurt, which is also another way of. It's another thing that enablers do. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Being giving somebody money or choosing to be friends with that person, because then it's hard for that person to see like how's this wrong, how can this push somebody away when this person is my friend, this person hangs with me, or this company has given me a job. I know someone. I used to date, and he's an alcoholic, but he still had a job because that person chose to kind of forgive him, and so he cared about him. But I kind of think that he cared more so about the job being done, and he hadn't looked into anyone else. I even said to him, hey, he might want to consider looking for someone else for work because he's really not reliable. I said, because you can get sued. I said, that's a liability. So that's a lawsuit. Because he's working, operating machinery. This is landscaping. You're operating machinery and this person is drunk, you know that person cannot be impaired. And you know this person has a tendency to show up to work. And the only reason he would show up to work is because the first time he ever did it, his boss didn't say anything. So that's why he thinks it's okay, because you're not saying anything. You allowed him to come, and so what you could do is you could have took him back home and said, no, you're going home, you're not working. Or drop your phone, you need to sober up, get together, figure out, what's important to you in your life. But you let that person to work, or you let that person still have a job. And several times that person had called out, didn't show up to work, or he would show, you know what I'm saying, how many times does a person do something for you, find like, you know what, I'm saying, I'll give you plenty. You're not going to work for me anymore. I'm not going to give you a job anymore, and all that stuff. So, what do you do? And, what do you do? And stuff like that. So, then it becomes a problem. So what do you, and so it was, so he was showing up, and then imagine, so you're in a relationship with this person and you got bills and responsibilities. But he's not used to that because he was renting a room. So he wasn't used to all the responsibilities that you had. He never had to deal with all that. So, but you want to be in a relationship with somebody, but then now you got responsibilities now. You're going to live with this person, you got to have this person out, and it was like, he was not reliable or dependable. And then and I didn't know at the beginning until once we had lived together and I started seeing it. And it was like, oh no, I'm not going to do this. And I let him know how I felt about the situation, which is different, because I'm not your boss. I'm not going to sit there and allow it to slide and allow you to keep doing it and all that stuff like that, because and still be there for you, still be known. Because this don't feel my lifestyle. I'm a Christian. I don't live the type of lifestyle. Yes, I had me some wine in my house and I just had mixed drink, but I'm at home and it's more like when I come home from work, I'm unwinding down. So I had a real crazy day, let me have a drink. But it's not every day. I'm not out in the streets seeing people so drunk that I can't get home. Mine's more recreational. I'm not an alcohol. Mine's more recreational. Well, not even that, but it's more like, okay, I had crazy day, wouldn't come home with me, but no. And so, for winding down purses after working a long crazy day, okay, that's fine. You had a long crazy day at work, that's fine. Be at home in your house. Have a drink. But you don't need to go overboard. There's this word called moderation. And he didn't have that. And so he kind of expected me to be like his boss, and I'm like, no. So I had to let him know. And really, I should have, as the first time, I let him know that when I'm okay with this, I should have ended it. So I had to take responsibility for my misery and my pain, what I went through, and so being hurt and the extra stress that would cause I'm coming home to stress. I had to take responsibility for that. I said, okay, well, I'm responsible for that, because the minute I found out about it, I should have ended the situation. Because you're sending a message. Because you're saying that this is a problem, but then you never ended the relationship, or because you kept telling him that you didn't. So and that's kind of how mean his mind was when you say you're going to do something. So you're going to have to do what you say you're going to do. If you're going to sit and say, hey, I can't deal with this, you do it again, I'm done, be done. Pack your stuff up. Have him sit outside. I wish I had done it. I wish I had packed up his stuff and had to sit outside the door. So when he came, there it was. Put him in a taxi. I could have put him in a taxi and sent him on his way, and I wish I had. You know what I'm saying? So I had to take responsibility. So the way I was kind of negative behavior, I never gave him money. But I was there. You know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to help him, actually. You know what I'm saying? I wanted him to get help. I wanted to know what was the cause. Because nobody just wakes up one day and it's like, oh, I think I'm going to sit there and start drinking and whatever. But something had to happen. And I wanted to know what it was, because then I can kind of get to the root of that and kind of give him some real spiritual Christian advice to let him know that it's okay. But I didn't know what it was. He wouldn't tell me what it was. And so, but I wanted him to get help. Go to rehab, go to AA, something. You know what I'm saying? He just refused to do it. And finally I was like, okay. So in a way, I kind of knew that person's situation. And so I was part of it. So in a way, I kind of was in, I kind of dealt with substance abuse. Even though I wasn't abusing the substance, I kind of was in it. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to, and it's because he expected, the reason why was because of his boss. Because his boss was always there for 16 years. You had a job, y'all were friends, But now it was like, well, I'm not gonna be. So then the boss was kind of like, well, I can't be friends with you and hang with you anymore because that's not my life. That's not who I am. And that's how I feel. I can no longer be in a relationship with you, and I also cannot be friends with you because I'm not the type of person that will be friends with somebody who's like that. If you live that type of lifestyle, I'm not gonna be that type I'm not gonna be friends with somebody who does that. That's not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the type of person, I'm cool, I'm laid back, I wanna, have a time to chill. But someone like that, you're not gonna have fun. They'll pick a fight with somebody, or it just ruins the night. That's not me. So I was like, okay, not only but I know I'll be your girlfriend, but I'm not gonna be friends with you as well. I'm done. Done. 13 months I dealt with that. And I don't know how I lasted that long, but I had to say it was God and patience, because I'm a very patient person, and I could deal with stuff for a long amount of time. And stuff like that. And but it was God, you know what I'm saying? So, but the reason why what came out of it was because he was used to his boss kind of still, you still got a job, and I always give him a chance, so he expected it from me. I'm like, no, I can't keep giving you chances and stuff, so you gotta have to put your foot down, but I'm always gonna be there for you, I'm always gonna give you a chance. You have to stand on your own 2 feet. He didn't know how to stand on his own 2 feet because somebody was enabling something. You know what I'm saying? He didn't know how to do things by himself. You know what I'm saying? He has to know how to spread your wings and fly. You know what I'm saying? I want a man who knows how to spread his wings and fly, who has already spread his wings. You know what I'm saying? I want a man who's like, you know what I'm saying? You have to, because if you can't take care of yourself, how can you take care of me? In order to do that, you have to spread your wings and take that step and fly. You know what I'm saying? Once you do that, you never stop flying. So I want a man that's flying right now. Because at least you can take care of me and give me what I deserve, what I need. Another way that you enable is you support that person's behavior. Like, for example, let's say you see somebody doing something, you support it by like, okay, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to participate in the behavior. Or you sit there and you encourage the behavior. You support, or by like, if you see somebody doing something, you help them. Like, for example, one of my brothers, he has passed, went up closer in age to me. He had passed a couple years ago, about 6 years ago. We're going on 6 years. This month, at the end of this month, will be 6 years. And he was involved in a lot of stuff, and his mother was covering it up. So when you are, and that's no way never to covering up. I should wrote that down. I'm covering up, and but it kind of goes in with the support. And she was covering up his behavior. Like he had weapons, so she would help hide the weapons, or like if he did something, she would hide him, and basically just, you know what I'm saying. But instead of making him be accountable, he's a grown man, and he needs to be accountable. So I feel if he had been made to be accountable, and maybe have fallen and got like, maybe he could have gotten a wake up call, and he could change his life. A lot of times, people when they live in a dangerous life, they need that wake up call, and they can't get it. Somebody's always there to catch them. You know what I'm saying? To be there to bail them out. They can't get that wake up call, and stuff, because somebody's there to catch. You're covering that person as here and there. So then turn around, going 6 years ago this month, he had got killed. I don't really know the circumstances of what led, but he was shot several times. Don't know what led to it and stuff, but then again, he lived a certain lifestyle. He was at this place where finally he was going to change and be a better person. He wanted it's like he was going to live a life anymore, was changing, but it caught up with him, and got gunned down. So, and I felt like, not to say it still probably wouldn't have got to him, and there were a lot of things I was working on that I wanted to do to kind of get my brothers and my sister and my family kind of out of that, and I felt like I was so hurt, so devastated, because it was like, oh my, because I wasn't where I wanted to be in my life to maybe get them out, because I saw myself successful. I still will be successful. I still am successful, financially, spiritually, mentally, and I was going to take care of my family. I was going to give them jobs, working for me, you know. So, and that's still the vision, that's still the goal, that's still the dream, because God shows me that vision. You know, I'm trying to get there, but the family, you know, it makes it kind of hard, you know. But yes, supporting that behavior, covering by covering up their behavior, or like you kind of like saying support by verbally supporting, like, oh well, hey, no, I did it, so how can I sit there and come to her and say something to him or her, because I'll be hypocritical. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a hypocrite. There are ways that you communicate to your child without being a hypocrite, by going ahead and acknowledging what you did. You know what I'm saying? When your child's a teenager, they're old enough. They can handle it. They can receive. They can understand what you're saying. Yes, I did it when I was young, and so I wish I had. I wish I would have waited. I wish I would have done this. I wish I had done this or that. Which is why I'm telling you. Excuse me. Which is why I'm telling you, or suggesting you, advising you, do not do that, because I did not, and trust me when I say it wasn't worth it. It's not what you think it's going to be. There's no reason to rush into doing that, because it's not always quite look to be. I want you to focus on school, getting your education, focus on that. Once you graduate from college, then kind of start dating, or then kind of become intimate. You know what I'm saying? Date without being intimate. You know, but instead you encourage the behavior by teaching her the right way to keep herself safe so she won't get hurt and stuff, and telling her, you know, teaching her the game, or how to play the game, him or her how to play the game, and stuff. Instead of saying, hey, you know, because to me, I feel in African American culture, we don't know how to say things like being hypocrite, because we just come at our kids, we find what they're doing, something, find out what they did, if they're dating, you know what I'm saying, if you find out your child did some drugs, some weed, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe you doing drugs. What do you think something never was? Hey, you did it. And so it says, instead of being so quick to come at your child when you find they did like a drug or whatever, weed or having sex, you don't realize, hey, you did it. You know what I'm saying? You didn't wait till you were married. So just be mindful how you come at your child. You can still have a conversation with your child, but just make sure you come to where you want to appear to be a hypocrite. Go ahead and let them know, yes, I did it. Because you open the door for them to ask you, Mom, did you think that's how it comes on kind of hypocritical? Because you came at them first, which opened the door for them to be able to ask you, well, did you wait, did you, you know, like, well, did you wait till you were married before you did such, you know? It kind of makes you a tad bit hypocritical in that way and stuff. So, you know, in that way. So, just kind of be mindful how you conversate with your children. Help them out of trouble. It's no way you know, which I was talking about like your child, until you help them out hiding weapons or whatever, or hiding them out, or if they get in trouble, you bail them out of jail or whatever like that. You're enabling them. Instead of allowing them to sit in jail, like county jail, let them sit there and stuff, because they need that fear. You know what I'm saying? They need that. They need to learn, you know, that there are consequences to their actions, and I can always be there to bail you out, you know, and if I keep bailing you out, you're never going to learn. You're not going to stop doing this and living this life and making these decisions. You're not going to stop. Excuse me, I just feel like my tongue's so exhausted. I think I'm so worked up, so excited. They're not going, you know what I'm saying, they're going to keep on doing that behavior or living a lifestyle because you're constantly there. They know that, hey, this person is going to be to build me out, so why should I stop? Why should I change it? Why should I correct it? Why? They're not going to correct it because you're always there. So like I said, and the other one was teach them the behavior lifestyle. So basically teaching them the behavior and the lifestyle, you enable them that and stuff, behavior. Instead of letting them kind of go out there and figure out and fall and hurt. So well, I'm going to teach you the correct way, I'll give you tools and tricks with it, so that way you don't get hurt, you can be safe or whatever. And so that way, you know, and or they'll let me, you know, covering, you know, and go if you're going to live this lifestyle, let me teach you the correct way. Or if you're going to do this way of doing drugs or drinking alcohol, let me make sure you do it to where you don't harm yourself. And because as I was saying, you cannot can't think of it, but you cannot watch over that person. Why you can't be there to monitor. Sorry, I was putting another letter there. You cannot sit there and monitor that person all the time 24/7. Especially they're grown, they're adults, especially